أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Inshallah, we shall continue our lesson. We are explaining the way the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to stand to the second rak'ah from the julus. So, and I said I will give some explanations, a detailed one as regards that. So inshallah we'll be looking at a particular explanation. This explanation was given by one of the scholars as regards to the way the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to stand from the sujud. So the scholars, they have two opinions on the way the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to stand from the sujud to the next rak'ah. The first of these two statements, they said, يُسَنُّ رَفْعُ الْيَدَيْنِ قَبْلَ الرُّكْبَتَيْنِ عِنْدَ الرَّفْعِ مِنَ السُّجُودِ. They said it is sunnah to raise the two hands before the two knees when one is going to the next rak'ah. إِلَّا إِذَا كَانَ يَشُقُّ عَلَيْهِ, except if it is difficult on the person praying. فَإِنَّهُ يَعْتَمِدُ عَلَى يَدَيْهِ فِي النُّهُوشِ. That is when he will now relax on his hands, placed on the ground to the next rak'ah. So, فَهُوَ مَذْهَبُ الْحَنَفِيَّةِ. This is the opinion of Abu Hanifa. وَالْحَنَابِلَةِ. This is the opinion of Al-Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal rahimahumullah. وَقَوْلُ دَاوُدْ الظَّاهِرِي وَاخْتَارَهُ ابْنُ الْقَيِّمِ. Don't forget that when we read the Zaadil yesterday, we mentioned something like this. And this is the opinion of Ibn al-Qayyim rahmatullahi alayhi as well. وابن باز, Sheikh Ibn Baz rahmatullahi alayhi, this is his opinion. وابن عثيمين, Sheikh Ibn Uthaymin rahmatullahi alayhim ajmahin. This is their opinion that when one is going to the next rak'ah, one raises his hand first, then his two knees. Do we get what I'm saying? Then he will not place his hand on the ground to the next rak'ah. So the hand that would have been raised, then maybe he's going to rest on the laps, but not on the ground. Now, and what is their evidence? Everything has to be based on evidence. The evidence they are using, awalan, the first of them is al-athar, the evidence from the Sahaba, from the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was reported from Abdurrahman ibn Yazid ibn Jabir. He said, رَمَقْتُ ibn Mas'ud. He said, I observed thoroughly Ibn Mas'ud. All of us know Ibn Mas'ud as one of the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. فَرَأَيْتُهُ يَنْهَدْ عَلَى صُدُورِ قَدَمَيْهِ. And I saw him standing from the sujud with the tip of his two knees, two legs. وَلَا يَجْلِسُ إِذَا صَلَّى فِي أَوَّلِ رَكْعَةٍ حِينَ يَقْضِي السُّجُودِ. So he said, Ibn Mas'ud will not sit after the sujud of the first rak'ah. He will just stand from the sujud straight away. And this is where we are going to talk about Jalsatul Istiraha. So we are still coming there. He said Ibn Mas'ud will not sit to relax before going to the next rak'ah. From the sujud straight away. So, وَفِي رِوَايَةٍ, in another narration, قال رَمَقْتُ عَبْدُ اللَّهِ. He said, I observed Abdullah ibn Mas'ud fi salah, in his salah. فَرَأَيْتُهُ يَنْهَدْ. And I saw him that he used to stand up. وَلَا يَجْلِسْ. And he would not sit down. قال, then he said, يَنْهَدْ عَلَى صُدُورِ قَدَمَيْهِ فِي الرَّكْعَةِ الْأُولَى وَالثَّانِيَةِ. He used to stand up with the tip of his leg in the first rak'ah and the second rak'ah. Now, the focal point of this evidence is that yanhadu ala suduri qadamay. He used to stand with the tip of his legs. This is in a kind of ishara, a proof that annahu la ya'tamidu ala al-ard biyadihi inda qiyam, that he didn't used to place his hand on the ground whenever he wanted to stand for the second rakah. Just like I'm raising my head from the sujud and I want to stand for the second rakah. So Ibn Mas'ud, according to this narration, so if I'm like this, he would raise his hand. Can you see? Let's say the head is raised first, the hand is raised, then he will just go straight without relaxing with his hand on the ground. He will just go straight to the second rakah. This is what he observed Ibn Mas'ud doing. ثانيا, another evidence of theirs is that أن رفع اليدين قبل الركبتين, that raising one's hands before the knees يوافق قيام الإنسان, it is in consonance with the standing of human. Okay, فإنه إذا قام من الأرض, because if he stands from the ground, يرتفع منه الأعلى فالأعلى, he would stand by raising the topmost, then the next, then the next. You know, standing from the ground while in sujud, the topmost is the head. We raise the head. The next to the top is the hand. We raise the hand. The next is the knee. Then, so it is in consonance with the standing of human. The other one, which is the third one, أن رفع اليدين قبل الركبتين, raising hands from the ground before the knees, يخالف نهوض البعير, it is different from the sitting of the camel. Okay, it is camel that does, if he wants to stand, camel will relax on his two hands. Okay, raise his knees, then before. So doing what I'm saying now is against the sitting or the standing of the camel. Do we get that? So if one does like relax on his two hands, it means he's relaxing on his hands while standing the way the camel does while standing. So this is the opinion of these people that say this. So, and وَهَذَا وَالَّذِي نَهَى عَنْهُ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ, this is what the Prophet ﷺ warned against, that we should not be standing like the camel does while on salah. So, the second statement of scholars is يُسْتَحَبُّ أَنْ يَقُومَ مُعْتَمِدًا عَلَى يَدَيْهِ, that it is recommended that even if he wants to stand, he should relax on his two hands. You see the first statement. So they are of the opinion that he should not relax on his two hands. The second statement, that it is recommended that he should relax on his two hands. So, and what are they saying? They said, well, this statement is the statement of Malikiyya. Al-Imam Malik, rahmatullahi alayhi, wa Shafi'iyya, Al-Imam Shafi'i. This is what their opinion is. وَقَوْلُ طَائِفَةٍ مِنَ السَّلَفِ, some of the companions, some of the past predecessors, this is what they believe. Even Shaykh al-Albani rahmatullahi alayhi, يَخْتَارُهُ الْأَلْبَانِ, this is what he also opined, that one should relax with his two hands. And what is their evidence? They said أَوَّلًا مِنَ السُّنَّةِ, their own evidence, the first one is in the Sunnah, and they quoted the hadith. And Abi Kilaba, from Abu Kilaba, he said جَاءَنَا مَالِكْ ibn al-Huwayrith, he said Malik ibn al-Huwayris, the son of Huwayris, came to us. فَصَلَّى بِنَا فِي مَسْجِدِنَا, he led us in prayer in our mosque. هذا فقال, he then told us, إني لا أصلي بكم وما أريد الصلاة, لا أصلي بكم وما أريد الصلاة. He said, indeed I will pray for you, but I never intended praying. ولكن, but the reason why I'm praying is because أريد أن أريكم كيف رأيت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يصلي, because I want to show you how the Prophet used to pray. That is why I want to lead you, but I never intended praying with you. قال Ayub then said, فقلت لأبي قلابة, he said, I told Abu Kilaba, وكيف كانت صلاته, how is the prayer of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? قال, he then explained, he said, مثل صلاة شيخنا هذا, he said, just like the prayer of our sheikh, this our sheikh. يعني Amr ibn Salima, he was referring to Amr ibn Salima. قال Ayub then said, وَكَانَ ذَلِكَ الشَّيْخ. He said that Shaykh, يُتِمُّ التَّكْبِير. He would complete all the takbir. وَإِذَا رَفَعَ رَأْسَهُ عَنِ السَّجْدَةِ. This is where we are going. Whenever he raises his head from the sujud, الثانية, the second sujud, جَلَسَ, he would sit. Can you see? In this place, Jalsatul Istiraha comes in. In the one that we talked about, said Ibn Mukhtasoru would not sit, he would just stand. In this place, they said the Prophet ﷺ would sit. وَاعْتَمَدَ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ. Then he would relax his hands on the ground. وَاعْتَمَدَ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ. He would relax his hand on the summa qam. Then he would now stand. Now, can you see difference of opinions? This is how it occurs in the deen sometimes. Al-ikhtilaf. It occurs. You will now be confused. Which one are we going to do? Which one should we choose? I think I've explained something like this in the past. That I said there is a ikhtilaf al-tanawwur wa ikhtilaf al-tadad. Ikhtilaf al-tanawwur, difference of opinions in which each party, they have evidence. Each party has evidence to prove. In that case, if you choose to do one, nobody is going to accuse you of that. If you are not choosing his own and you choose your own, because you have evidence to that. The other one, ikhtilaf al-tabad. One is just basing difference of opinion on his own whims and desires. No evidence. This one is not allowed. So in this case now, if we see some scholar opining in one direction, it's because they have evidence. And if you see somebody doing what those scholars have evidence upon, don't accuse him. Because he's doing it based on what? On knowledge. And if you see someone not doing what you are doing, don't accuse him as well. Because he's doing his own too based on what? On knowledge. So this is what we must understand. Ikhtilafu at-tanawwu'. Inshallah, they said the reason for this is because when one relaxes his hand on the ground before standing, it is more convenient. Wallahu alam, it is more convenient than just standing without placing the hand on the ground. But if one is also convenient with not placing the hand on the ground, of course, you can choose to. So in this regard, I will just advise, whichever one you do. So, just make sure that you are doing it based on what? On knowledge. We've quoted the two opinions. Ibn Mas'ud would stand without placing his hands on the ground. And he would stand without sitting Jalsatul Istiraha. Another hadith quoted that the Amr ibn Salima said he used to see the Prophet ﷺ whenever he wanted to stand from the sujood, he would what? He would sit, then he would relax his hands on the ground, then he would now stand up. So you can decide to choose anyone. But wallahu alam, just make sure that what you are doing is based on knowledge. So we pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us right. Inshallah, we will go to the next phase tomorrow. Do we have any question? No. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.